Welcome back to part 3 of our Streamer Therapy podcast, season 3. If you missed part 1 and 2, you need to stop, pause, go back, watch it. It's where we talked about mental health, work-life balance, prioritizing as we know it now, and as we're going to continue to do so now. If you've watched or listened to our previous episodes, you know I'm joined here with two cuties with a K, KitKatGinger and I just realized that we're all 3 Ks. So you're KitKat, K, and I'm K. We're the 3 Ks. We're going to start a new show.
Actually, hold on. I've just realized that could be quite problematic.
Don't do that. No.
Yeah, let's roll.
Never mind. Moving on. Okay.
Cancel that.
We're canceling it. But anyway,
it's okay.
I'm just we're gonna do the whole thing. It's KitKat, Kate, and K. That's what I was saying. Okay, let's move on. I'm a YouKayy anyway. It's fine. It's Y anyway. You know what? Let's just move on. This is awkward.
We're Y2K.
That's right.
That's what we are.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
Y with 2 Ks.
2 Ks.
2
That's
Ks.
our girl group name.
Yay! We're gonna be, because you remember how I said this is BTS and people were getting disappointed. Look, don't get disappointed. It's not actually BTS. We'll be forming a new K-pop band right here. Right, it's happening. All right, let's just keep going. Now the next question that I had, it was do you feel like your job and streaming influence each other in any way, positively or negatively?
I did have an answer about this when I read it. But so like before I started streaming, especially with COVID, like we had to, transition to doing like workshops and like trainings over Zoom and stuff like that. And so I feel like with streaming, I always write a script for like the presentation that I'm giving anyway, because you've listened to me talk. You know how that goes without things written down. Like I haven't prepared for this. Sorry. Like, I feel like I'm much more comfortable with talking at a camera because we still do most of our trainings over Zoom because it's just easier. Like, just being able to talk to a camera, I've noticed such a difference from like when I'm the one, and then if I'm like co-presenting with another coworker, maybe she doesn't write a script. I don't think she does, but like, there's clearly like a lack of comfort with the camera. Like I'm not like, hey, chat, when I, open
could you imagine
a training call or something. Yeah, it's like, what? That's so confusing. But especially because like most of my coworkers are older than me by like a couple of generations. And so it's a different feeling about technology anyway. But I just know that I'm more comfortable talking at a camera than I was pre-Twitch.
I think your coworkers would think that you'd lost your mind if you said. Yeah, definitely a positive. I think they would just be like, she's saying, hey, chat, like, there's something wrong with her. Somebody get her
She's like
out.
Leaving out words like in the chat. Put your questions in the chat, not calling me chat. Like,
but I think that's amazing that so it's helped you positively and it's made you feel more confident and being more outspoken, I guess. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Especially would have been hard for you because it's hard. It was hard for all of us during COVID. I feel like more of us became more introverted because of that. I call myself an extroverted introvert. So if I was to answer this question as well, like, do you know what's really funny? I'm actually a different person when I'm at work for my job in terms of the clinical side of things. When I'm in the clinic, I'm actually very different to when I'm on stream. Like I'm a different person in the sense that I'm way more professional than like I have a mask on. And then in streaming, sometimes I'm so like honest and so brutal, and I gotta rein that in at work. I gotta be like, oh no, I can't do that. Oh no,
right.
I gotta be very professional. Like for example, last week I had somebody, this gentleman. He was like, I was talking about his history and surgery and things like that, and then he was like, oh yes, and he was going through chemo, and he went through chemo, and he's doing really well. But then this rash suddenly came up on his body, and then I was like, oh, okay, yep, yeah. I'm going through his ear health history, but for some reason we're talking about his rash. And then when you're looking at you're looked at as a clinician, people tend to share a bit more with you, and
all their ailments.
He proceeded to lift up his shirt to show me the rash on his like body. And I was like,
That's not your ear, sir, is it?
yes. And then the part of me, if this was in stream, like how I would be reacting, like in stream would be, I'd be like yelling and I'd be screaming, or I'd be like, what the hell is this? I would have like a full blown meltdown and a reaction. But at work, I was like, yes. So yeah, that's quite the rash there. Yeah, okay. And has it spread into like, other? Is it affecting your ears in any way? Do you have rash in your ears?
Bring it back to the ears. Yeah.
Oh my god, I had to be so. But it's just
like unfazed by
oh
that.
my
Like,
God.
this happens all the time.
But like sometimes accidentally. So this is the negative side of things, which is accidentally I nearly like react properly in my job. Like I did once, but she was like a younger girl, so she was okay with it. And I sort of like went a bit more like casual with her. And then I was like, oh crap, I can't be this way. I can't be this way. I can't, I gotta like rein it back, be a professional. So sometimes it can negatively influence you, but in like the funniest way. What about UK?
I can't think of anything where it's affected negatively. I guess not in the way I perform either of the things, but just in the I guess trying to do both at once. It's, sometimes my work, because it's the priority, it then affects my schedule or my timing or my energy. So in that sense, yes, negatively. But definitely positively, there's been a few areas where I feel like both have influenced each other. So when I went for my interview for this role, I talked about streaming. So I have in my professional CV for this kind of work that I do now, that I create content, create digital content. It's a bit more of a broad kind of description of what I do. But then in the interview, I went into a bit more detail, and it actually aligned really perfectly with the role I was after in terms of building a connection. So my role at my job is very much around building connections. There's we have these like pillars of our values for the organization. Lots of businesses have their values, right? Words or their mottos or something. And one of ours is, they're all Te Reo Māori words, so the Indigenous language of New Zealand. And one of them is whanaungatanga, which means, it has a sort of a description. It's not a direct translation, but it basically is about building connection between people. And that is something that I've worked on in streaming, whether it was conscious or unconscious. The work that I've done to build a community and connect with people, I think was really quite important to talk to in my interview, and actually possibly part of the reason I got the job.
Wow.
And just building that skill as well was, now I know I have that skill to connect with others and to empathize. Like empathy is a huge part of the role that I do as well. Here, like active listening, like listening to people, all of that are all skills that I can cross over into my job. And then also just down to a technical level. So the work I do, my team, weekly we do a kind of organization-wide presentation to the whole business, and it's in person and it's online. So we record it, we set up a camera, and we get presenters from across, like every week it will be a different person from a different team presenting on a different topic, but it's all kind of customer focused stories. So that's why our team kind of owns it. But just down to the technical skills I've built by figuring out how to use OBS and stream and troubleshoot technical issues in the moment, and figuring out how a mic works and how a camera works and where, the settings and what kinds of things to look for when things go wrong has been really helpful with that, because we record it and it goes out live to hundreds of people every week through Microsoft Teams. So that as well has been kind of a good, I've got knowledge from my streaming to be like, oh yeah, I know how that thing works. I could help here. And
that's so good. To go the other way as well, like, because one of the things that I had to do in my previous jobs as well was part of my job was I needed to train people, and I had to do like sessions for, so anywhere between 30 and 50 people I'd have to talk in front of and do like an entire session, an hour long thing. And so I think that helped. So in terms of when I went into streaming and people said to me, oh, you seem like you know what you're, when you're talking to people. And I guess that's because I've used to talking to people at that large scale, because, it just, and also actually it's more that was more daunting than streaming, because I had to stare at these people's faces as they stared back to me, and the feedback, I worked off their vibe, whereas you're sort of working off chat's vibe, and chat's vibe is monotone, so you read that and take it how you must. So somebody says, you suck at this game, and I would be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I'm just going to take it in a positive way. So thank you. You just,
you suck too.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, you just take that, however you will. And as you say, the technical side of things, I have definitely gotten better at that as well at work, because of having to, as a streamer, you're also your own technical IT person, or you're screaming at chat saying, what should I do? Tell me, help me.
Panicking at the mod.
Yes.
Yeah, Googling YouTube videos about how to do this thing, fix this thing.
Yeah, so that's awesome. And I love hearing that, the way that it's sort of helped you guys positively, streaming. And I think like when people start off streaming, you don't think of it affecting us in this way, like positively, and how it affects us in our other jobs and things. So it's so good to know and hear about. The next question that I had, I think we've already answered, so I'm not going to go into that one. It was about how we maintain our energy and focus across both areas. And I think we answered that by saying that we just try to prioritize different things in our life. And in terms of energy, I guess, like anyone, if you don't have the energy, it's best not to stream.
Because then that leads to burnout, and
exactly.
It leads to resentment or
going
being
all the way
unhappy,
back.
mental health.
Yeah, it's just going all the way back to what we started. We come back in full circle. Look at that. So I guess the last question, I may have answered this already myself, but I don't know. Hang on, let's see. You know what's so funny? These are my questions, and then I forget about them, and then I come back to them, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Where did that one come from?
Yeah, when did we sneak
Who
this
wrote
one
that?
in?
They're so insightful.
Have you ever had to take a step back from streaming due to work or personal reasons? And how did your community respond? This is a two-parter. If you want, I can go first whilst you guys are thinking about it. So I took a step back, personal reasons. Obviously, I had a really horrible pregnancy. I had a really hard time. I had a really horrible birth, all that kind of stuff. I'm still not 100% healthy, fit-wise, and that kind of stuff. I'm still recovering. And you'd think that I would be fully healthy by now. My baby's almost 3 years old, but honestly, it affects people in different ways. People don't realize how much that can affect your body. But we're going on off topic now, something else. But like, I had to take a step back from that for a year. And unfortunately, like when I came back, I didn't get the views back. But the community members, in terms of how they responded, the community members that were there for me, like I feel like we all have like a handful of people that are very sweet and kind, and they just support you no matter what. They all came back for me, and they were very supportive. And then I gained new people as well. And then I also sometimes have to take a step back, just because my mental health sometimes goes really bad. Like I have what's known as high functioning depression and anxiety. So sometimes my depressive episodes are like, why I'm high functioning is that I have to get up and I have to work. Like I can't stop that. Like I have to go to work financially for my family. I have to look after my child. Like there's all these things that I'm high functioning because I have to do it. But there's times where unfortunately I can't get out of bed, or I'm just feeling sorry for myself, or I'm just having such a bad episode where I just about maybe brush my teeth. Like that's how bad it is. There's so many times where I have to take a step back, and my community has been great in that, supporting me and being like, you know what, don't worry about it. And as I said, Kate, we shouldn't feel sorry. And what I do, I keep apologizing. It's just, it's a horrible, vicious cycle. What about you guys? Have you ever had to take a step back from streaming due to work or personal reasons?
Yeah, I have, but not to the length, I think, that you've described. So just like here and there. Just earlier, a couple of months ago, I took, 2 weeks off. So in the scheme of things, it's not long, but when you're planning on doing that, if it's a plan ahead of time, or if it's a in the moment thing, it feels monstrous.
Honestly,
even just
2 weeks
2
is a
weeks.
long time. It is,
It
honestly.
feels huge.
For a streamer, it
Yeah.
is. If you take
Yeah.
even if you take like 6 days off, 5 days
Yeah.
off, whatever, it's
A
actually
week,
a long
yeah.
time, because some people like that are watching you are some people that's all like that's their
It's
go-to.
their routine.
Yeah, their
right?
routine.
It's a
Yeah.
routine. It's a schedule. It's part of
So
their
then-
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
So
So they have to find something else to like fill that gap.
and then
Yeah.
they might not come back to you.
Right.
and that's kind of part of it, right? That's understandable. That's just something that we need to accept and deal
right.
with. And
Yeah.
so it's about what decision is more a priority for us. Is it that we keep these people, or is it that we actually take care of ourselves and make sure we're feeling healthy and well? So I've not taken any extended period off, but I guess I could use the example of going from not working and streaming more often to then having a job and dropping considerably in terms of how long I can stream and how often. And now these days with my full-time job, it's not uncommon that I have to skip a day or even a couple of days. So I don't like it. I hate it. I hate doing it. I still get that feeling of anxiousness around how it affects my channel, because I know we talked right up front about streaming needs to be fun for you to make sense of it.
Yeah.
But also I do want to, like, I am still creating a brand, a presence, and that's not unimportant to me. It's just not the priority,
Right.
but I still want to grow. I've just become a bit more, I guess, realistic around how much and how quickly I can grow.
Yeah.
My goals may have been a lot loftier in the old days of streaming.
Yes.
These days I'm realizing that I can grow, but these are the things I need to be able to do to grow.
Yes.
Can I do those things? Okay, maybe I need to just accept that growth's going to be minimal. And then when I take time off, absolutely, Kay, I completely relate to dropping. I was doing really well last year with a sort of growth in streaming, and then I had to minimize my schedule, and it was definitely noticeable. So it's just dealing with that, I guess. And echoing what you said about how it feels.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? I honestly feel like it's like, oh, we want to take care of ourselves, but then I don't know what the word is I'm looking for.
Guilt?
Yeah,
little bit of
definitely.
guilt.
Yeah,
It's hard to prioritize yourself. It feels selfish, and I think traditionally in a Western society, in any society really, it's seen as selfish to prioritize yourself, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm glad that in this generation now, like we're learning to be more okay about it. Like, prioritizing how we manage the mental health side of things. Like, like even if you think about it, like our parents, like my dad, I felt like he worked hard, and I want to work hard, but I want to work smart. I want to be, but like they whenever they had any horrible moments where they're feeling down, they never really talked to people about it. Like, they just pushed through because that's what they thought they had to do. Yeah. Whereas we're in that mindset, I feel like, because we're in that middle generation, that's what I feel like, in the sense that we have that that pressure of you just got to push through, but then that also that thing of actually, we need to look after ourselves, but then you feel guilty for doing it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I still, I feel guilty taking a sick day when I'm sick from work,
same.
for my job.
Yeah.
I do.
Like, how stupid is that we feel that way?
Yeah. And then the younger generation, like I had a girl who I realized that I could be her mom if I had her at 15 years old. By the way, I figured this out, and I was like, oh my God, this. So I realized, like, she was very young, and she literally was like, I just got a bit of a headache and I just got to go home. I just can't deal with this anymore. And then she just left, and I was like, whoa, I had a headache the other day. I had the biggest migraine ever, and I just
Powered through.
I forced myself through that. But also, I was like, oh my God, to have that level of confidence and that I could not do it. I don't know.
The concept of taking a mental health day for work 20 years ago when I started working was non-existent.
Right.
You know, these days it's an accepted thing. You know, if you need a mental health day, you can, dependent on where you work. Obviously, there's lots of places that would not allow it. But where I work, you know, I could say to my manager, you know, I'm not feeling great today. I don't have anything physically wrong with me, but, you know, a mental health day is something that is becoming more and more accepted in the workplace. And it used to be like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What do you mean? You feel depressed.
Yeah,
What?
that's it. It's like, no, just, you know, and then they would just be like, you know what, just, it's fine. Just, you know, smile and think happy thoughts and you're going to be fine. I'm like, okay, thanks so much.
Have you
Just
tried
solved.
not being depressed?
Yes. Have you just don't think about it. I'm like, oh, okay, I've got so much anxiety and I think I overthink. No worries. You said to me, don't overthink about it.
Stop worrying.
That's it.
Yeah, stop worrying.
Stop worrying about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Make me.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something then and I completely forgot what it was. It was like, it might come back to me. Probably was not that important. I don't know. KitKat though, did you, no, still, no, I thought it was going to come back to me. It didn't. But just going back to KitKat, taking a step away, I feel like you had to do that recently as well.
I did, kind of like with Kate, it wasn't for like a very long time, and I go back and forth on whether I should have just like not streamed at all but streaming helped me like not feel so separate and so just like completely lost. Like it didn't fix anything, but it helped me like
it kept your mind
at
off
least
it.
And like just keep me busy with little things that can kind of keep my mind off of it or like kind of lower the intensity of those feelings that I was having.
Yeah.
So I've taken like small breaks or like breaks when I'm on vacation and I'm like visiting one of my friends who are at Christmas time. If I'm at my mom's house, like I can't stream there. But it's not so much as like I'm not streaming because for a long time because of something specific. It's just like, oh, it's Christmas time or like with Thanksgiving. I didn't stream on Friday, but like it's just sort of like shifts it a little bit and I feel like it's not too disruptive most of the time. And I think overall the community, I'll just like, you know, if it's American Thanksgiving, if you like go hang out with Kay or Kate or Pete, you'll be fine. You can find something else to do. And I mean, since it's not like a huge amount of time, it's usually not, I mean, how would I know? It's not a huge dip in viewers. The numbers are never very big, and I just try to like mitigate my expectations too, which is hard. Just be like, it's fine. You know, like this is just for fun for me.
And like sometimes you get really good days of streaming and you do get bad days of streaming. It's just how it is. And it could be an overall combination of just how you're feeling that day or just, you know, the game that you're playing perhaps or something like that. Just sometimes it's just not going the way that you want it to go and sometimes that's okay.
Can I add one more?
Yes.
Sorry.
No,
so I talked about like I don't owe anyone anything earlier. I also, you know, our audience doesn't owe us anything either in the same way. So part of it is just, it's hard to accept it, but you've got to we just have to accept that people will come and go. I also can't expect from others something that I don't give.
Yeah.
I don't I don't watch a lot of streams. I'm working, I'm out doing things. If I'm around and I'm on my computer, I will lurk but I'm not a very heavy chatter. These days as well, especially, I don't have a lot of time to watch people even as a lurker on streams.
Yeah.
So how can I expect too much of people if that's what, you know,
absolutely,
if that's my position as well.
Yeah. I was just reading what Collection wrote in chat, which was only the real ones will return. That's how you know they are real ones. And that is definitely true. But also it's like what you said, Kate's like, we can't expect them all to come back. We can't expect them to give us the time and stuff. I also want to add, like, I don't view other people, like it's important if you're going to be a streamer or anything like that and you're listening to this, you don't view other people as competition. There is something for everyone, okay? Like, I don't get upset if I know that I'm streaming at the same time as somebody else and that person who's always in my chat in that time, it goes somewhere else, because sometimes that's not what they're looking for. You're not playing the game that they want. They just want this other vibe today. They're just doing this. You never hold it against people, and like just accept that like you said, like nobody owes you anything. They can be anywhere that they want to be. If they want to chat to you, they'll chat to you. If they don't want to chat to you, they won't chat to you. Like I did get this one time, somebody say to me like, oh, I don't want to come, like they don't come to my streams anymore because I don't go to their streams anymore. And I was like, okay then.
All right.
And I was like, I didn't realize that this was a transaction. I didn't realize this is how it's meant to be. But
it's like seeing humans as tools, right?
I know.
It's like chat are not my tools to gather in order to create a successful stream.
Yes.
What creates a successful stream needs to be from me alone.
Yeah.
And what is added from chat is added. That there's not something that they need to provide to me.
Yeah.
To make it successful for me.
Yeah, exactly. So we can go into chat now really quickly about if you guys have any questions that you want us to answer at this point, because this is going to be the last question and that we're going to answer from chat. If you guys have anything for KitKat, myself, or Kate, pop them in. I'm just going to read what Collection wrote here in chat, where he said, I had to take about 2 months off unplanned due to an injury, and I was so nervous my stream would be severely hurting by the time I got back, but thankfully my community was there and maybe even stronger than before. It was really relieving. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And that is something that I know, like I was there, like, and I know that was really hard for him, because Collection does stream probably like different streams a lot more than me, and I think is just an amazing content creator. And I think I can tell like that was really hard for him. Like he had a back issue and things like that. But that's great. That's amazing. Like sometimes that does happen where the community is stronger. Sometimes it's not, and you got to start again and you got to rebuild. And those both things are okay. You just got to accept and go with what it is. So I'm going to answer Villa's question, which is, do you find streaming or in real life job more stressful? Which one is more stressful to you guys?
I mean, my job is not that high stress. Like sometimes specific things stress me out. It's usually incompetence. Or people treating me like the IT person when I'm not being paid to be an IT. So no, I can't help you with Microsoft Teams. Yeah. Like basic questions like that. But so I don't think, I think just like, not that nothing stresses me out. I feel like it's the opposite. Everything does. Because of my anxiety. But I think that my job is more stressful just because it's higher stakes, I think. Not that I have like fears about like job insecurity or anything. But I think the financial aspect of that is more important. And so I think that is more stressful. I think just life in general is more stressful than streaming. Yeah. Because it's like not like my job isn't my life. Streaming isn't my life either. So it's just, I don't know. Everything's stressful.
Well, what about you, Kate? What is more stressful?
Everything is stressful. Everything. That's true. Life is stressful. Definitely my job. Yeah, hands down my job. There are definitely stressful elements to streaming, but with streaming, I can, if I wanted to, I could stop. I could go cold turkey, no more streaming, goodbye, shutting everything down, and it wouldn't affect the functioning part of my life. Like it might make me sad that I wasn't streaming, but I could still eat. I could still put a roof over my head. I could still, look after my cats. I could still. It's the financial thing, I think, and just the impact that the output of each has on the rest of my life. So the impact my job has is way bigger than what streaming has.
Yeah. It's like
If
what
streaming
Kit
was
saying,
a full-time job,
Yeah.
then that's a different story. But it's not for me right now. So
Yeah. For me, I definitely think obviously my job is way more stressful, and I have a lot of challenges at work and have been recently, which I'm not going to go into, but it's been very, very stressful. And I definitely think streaming is not as stressful. But like you said, you can always turn that off. But also, streaming can be stressful if there's, for me, it's like when I have like something big that I've planned and I do it to myself. I don't know. I stopped doing it to myself this year, but last year I did like so many different things where I had something called Kaychella. I just put K in front of everything. So instead of Coachella, it's 3 days of Kaychella, which is me. And then I do like a little party dance music. And then I have like different outfits and I got to dress up and I have like Coachella looks and all that kind of stuff. And I felt like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to create these looks for myself as well. And then whenever I do like big goals or targets, like whenever I did like when I did my last ever subathon, I said that was stressful. Like that was so stressful. And my next goal that I've created, by the way, is so stressful. And I don't know why I did this to myself, but everything else in general is fine. But one of my goals is once I get to 2K followers, I'm going to be doing a raid train for the community.
Cool.
So it's just going to be creating a raid train. So like, for example, if you're streaming, you'll finish your stream and like raid into KitKat, and KitKat finishes stream and raid into me or whatever it is. And I was like, why did I did this to myself? But I put it out there now. It's there. I can't do anything about it. So, but those kind of things can be stressful. But I feel like when I'm in the moment, it's fine. Like it's stressful in a way that you enjoy. I guess this is my next question for you guys. Like, what do you get more joy out of? Is it like a successful day at work or a successful day at streaming?
Oh, that's really difficult.
As I said, I'm not married to my job. Like some things about it are fun. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it's just it feels like a lot of meaningless work to me, even if it is like helping students. Yeah. Because there's all these lofty ideas and we just make such a difference. Like it's like we're not in a cult. Relax. Yeah. What brings me joy is a hard question.
I feel like we're deep diving into this therapy session now, and we need to like maybe do what my psychologist says to me, which is like, this is something we need to talk about a bit more, and we're going to come back to it next week or whenever, in the next session we'll deep dive into why this is making you feel this way.
Like I enjoy streaming.
Yes.
So I guess I don't know what does a successful stream look like? I think it has to change sometimes because it can just be me having fun in The Sims, dressing my sim as I want to and not caring if anyone wants to watch this or not.
Yeah.
Like I think it's hard because I don't know. I think it looks different. Maybe every stream. What does success look like?
Yeah, okay. I guess this is what we talked about earlier. Like Kate was saying, how do we quantify like success and things like that? I guess it depends on what you mean. And I guess success could be like you felt good at the end is what I mean. Like I guess like, for example, you felt like you did well in the game. You accomplished what you wanted to accomplish on the game. You had a nice conversation with your chat. And you were feeling like a boost of energy by the end of it. And I guess that's what I'm thinking. And then in terms of equivalent to that, in terms of work, I guess that could be, again, you finished your tasks and nobody cried and you were happy. So that's happy.
I didn't cry.
Yeah. So I guess KitKat's answer is neither. No,
not work. Definitely. No, I mean, like I don't leave work.
Yeah.
I don't leave work mostly at any point. Like, I'm like, oh, thank goodness, time to go home, and I'm like excited to go see my dog and my cat.
Collection said it's fascinating to see what people say when it comes to jobs because no one wants to work, but some people feel very fulfilled and that's enough to make it work. What about you, Kate? It was to answer that question. What do you feel? Where do you get the most joy? A successful day at work or successful day at streaming?
So I am going to answer the question, but first I'm going to cheat a little bit by saying I get the most joy out of my number one priority, which is my family and friends.
Aww.
So
cheating, such a cheater.
So it's a hard question. It's similar to KitKat as, but actually to maybe give you more of a fulfilling answer to the question, I'm quite similar to KitKat in that my job is not my dream job. My dream job would be to get paid to travel the world. That would be my dream job. Like you give me anything else and I'll do it, and I'm getting paid. I think about the paycheck in order for me to live my life and do the fun things I want to do. Play games, go traveling, spend time with my cats and my husband, enjoy beautiful weather, etc. That's what brings me joy. Working, I do it to pay the bills. I do enjoy my job because it does that, it does that, because the people, my team in particular, not so much the business wide, but my team is great, supportive people, wonderful humans. My manager's great. So in terms of the many roles and jobs I could possibly be in, this one is pretty decent. I can't really complain. But I love playing games. And if that's hard, though, does it bring me joy? Do I feel energy? Because I often feel tired and overwhelmed and overstimulated after stream. But I enjoyed myself during it, right?
Overstimulated,
yeah, especially on a Saturday, because I'm usually streaming longer on a Saturday because I have a bit more time. And I'm often going straight to something else on a Saturday as well. Because I finish around lunchtime, so I'm going to see someone, or I'm got to do some housework or whatever. And it takes me quite a while mentally to wind down from a stream. But I love playing games, and that's part of the stream. And that's so... Yeah, sorry, it's not a very cut and dry answer.
Have really answered the question, really. But that's
neither
fine.
of us experience joy. I understand.
No joy ever.
I get that, though. I get that. It's such a hard question for us, and I definitely feel that. Like, I don't know if I can answer my own question, to be honest. But if I was to pick, I would say, if it was like a really good day of streaming, but at the same time, it's what Kate said, which is I'm so overstimulated by the end of it, and I find it so hard because I gotta like tell myself, okay, switch off, do the things that you need to do, get to the next place that you need to get to, just do the things that you need to do. All right, so that was I think that's it from chat. I think I'm gonna go into individual questions that I didn't let them prepare about. By the way, guys, I didn't let them prepare.
It's okay, I didn't prepare.
2 minutes. You gave us 2 minutes of warning that they were coming.
Yes, I gave 2 minutes of warning. That was perfect. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. So before, what I did was I did like questions, like I just asked like a bunch of questions to each person that they answered a bunch of questions, but I'm going to do like one each. That's what I'm going to do. Wait, collection says so no one likes streaming. I got it.
That's not what we said.
No.
Otherwise, I wouldn't do it.
You know what? Next time he comes on the podcast, let's ask him these questions. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So this one is for Kate. To the viewers out there, this is such an viewers and listeners out there. This is such an interesting question. That I think you're gonna like about Kate. I heard somewhere that you were raised in a zoo. Is this true? Please tell us what. I mean, how? Why? When? What?
How, when, where?
What are you talking about?
What? You were raised in a zoo. Can you please explain this?
Please extrapolate. Yes. So it is true. I've got it printed on the back of a T-shirt as well. I grew up in the zoo.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm envisioning? I'm envisioning like Tarzan. She got raised by like animals.
So it was a zoo. It was a zoo, right? So there was structure there.
Okay.
So within the zoo grounds, like the property that the zoo owns, there's obviously the zoo part that is public. When people buy a ticket, they can come in, purchase, go around the zoo. There's also a section that is not public. So even if you visit the zoo, there's like an end point to the zoo, but there's actually more property there. And there are houses, like residential houses, 4 or 5 or something, that the zoo organization owns.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about a zoo, you can't leave a zoo. You can't, you show up an office at the end of the day and everyone leaves and there's no one there, and then you arrive again the next day. You can't do that with a zoo with animals. You can't have no one there for potentially 12 hours or whatever. You always have to have someone. So I don't know how it functions right now, but when I was born, one of my parents was working at the zoo, and we lived in one of the houses in the zoo grounds.
Yeah.
So there was no, we could just walk down the hill from our house and kind of go through the little gate and be in the zoo with where all the public were. And I am the youngest of 5 kids, so my older siblings experienced it for a lot longer than I did. Once I was born, we lived there for another 6-ish years. So
Wow.
I was only about 6 when we left. So my memories of it are not as strong as some of my older siblings. But I still have some memories and lots of
6 is like
great
quite a big
photos.
age. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we would spend a lot of time there after hours as well. The zoo would close for the day for visitors. Sometimes we would go down and we get to go sort of behind the scenes in the veterinary office or inside the enclosures, help like feed the animals or take care of them, or so
That's
surrounded
amazing.
by animals. And it was pretty epic. It was the best
So
childhood ever.
cool.
And I remember being so mad when my parent decided to leave the job.
How dare they?
Because I was like, what do you mean? This is this is the most, this is the most epic kind of friendship creator. And I was just starting school. I'm like, everyone's going to love me if I live in the zoo. If we move to a normal house, I'm not going to have any friends. Who wants to come around to a normal house?
Nobody.
So, yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Could you imagine if you were a streamer whilst living in a zoo? Like,
Oh, that'd be incredible. Yeah.
that's amazing. That's such an awesome story. I didn't realize
the
that
actual
that's a
dream.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that was but it makes sense. It makes sense that people would live in the zoo though to help out. That's incredible.
So my parent had to be the one like on call after
Wow,
hours. And
yeah.
there's I could go into a lot of other stories about drama happening
Oh.
after hours with animals and things. So
I can imagine. If we
for another time.
Just our imagination sort of like running wild there now. So KitKat, this is actually a question that Villa asked as well, and I didn't answer it before because I was like, I'm already asking her this question, so I wanted to just wait. So, would you consider quitting your job and streaming full time if the opportunity came about?
I don't know, but I feel like I'm a person who, like, I know I stream and like talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm a person who like doesn't like being the center of attention. I know like on stream, I guess the streamer is technically the center of attention, but like I feel like bigger streamers, there are like more expectations on them and more like higher level parasocial relationships where because you are viewed by more people and more people think they have some kind of right to you because they pay to say, to sub or and that's just like heightened. Yeah. Like I'm going to use her as an example, but like wholesome is a really big Sims streamer. She's got like 2 million subscribers on YouTube or something. Yeah. And I love her content. She's a lot younger than I am, but she has great content. I love it. I could never deal with the chat that she has to deal with. Right. It's so fast. Yeah. Oh, like, yeah. Sometimes I see them. Yeah. And I'm just like, I see it. Overwhelming.
So
like,
overwhelming.
I don't know how they deal with it. And I guess they obviously can't read every message. I mean, I can't read every message now.
No, I know.
Sometimes.
I know.
Like, but I think that the stress of that is like not something that I'm interested in. It's kind of like, because then you have to get sponsors because you don't want to only rely on the community for those subscriptions and, you know, gifts and things like that, because that's not sustainable because the economies fluctuate and Twitch raises their prices so that more people can't sub.
Yes.
But I don't think like that type of like publicity is something that I would want if it was like a huge financial gain, especially like I said earlier with health insurance being tied to your job in the US, like that I don't think like you'd have to buy your own or not have it, which isn't ideal for me as somebody who needs prescribed anxiety medicines. Like, and just other, you know, normal routine things that you should be taking care of. Or getting checked. So I like don't think that's something I would be interested in, because it just sounds really stressful, and I'm really bad at marketing myself, even in my own streams. I'm not going to tell you very easily, like, remember to talk myself up. Be like, oh, well, you should follow me, or you should use my EA creator code, or you should do my shell challenge.
You should. Just saying, you should though. You should though.
I know, like that's why the bot is there, because it reminds me to maybe say something. But sometimes I ignore it.
Yeah, you sometimes it's annoying. Like whenever I get mine come up, I'm like, it's so cringe. Why does it have to do that? But I'm like, oh, I set it up for that way.
I wrote that.
Yeah.
I typed that with my own fingers.
That's right. Why did I do this? It's really interesting. Susie said, is being a streamer like being in a zoo? People pay to see you in a camera enclosure. Like
this is free.
It's true. It's true.
It's a free zoo.
All right. So interesting. Honestly, KitKat, I didn't expect the answer from you, and I feel like I love these kind of podcasts because I feel like I get to know you guys a lot more through these podcasts as well. So it's very interesting, and I think that your community will be very interested in that answer as well, because I don't know if they were expecting that answer as well, because I'm part of your community. That's why. That's how I know.
I'm shocked.
So, Kate, I know you said that you do other games, but I know you're predominantly a Sims streamer. Would you be open to streaming other than Sims, and what would it be? Or if the answer is no, why?
So like basically, why do I predominantly stream
No. If you would be open to streaming other than Sims, so if you had something else in your, like streaming something else other than Sims, what would it be?
The question's kind of, I guess, linked to the way I interpret. Like there's a reason that my content is 98% The Sims.
Okay.
So when I was streaming 4 times a week last year, when I wasn't working, and I had more time to stream, I dedicated 1 stream a week to a different game.
Okay.
At the time I was playing Planet Zoo once a week, and then the other 3 were The Sims. And I loved that game. There's not a huge like chasm between my love of The Sims and my love of other games. There are a lot of games that are pretty close up there that I really enjoy playing. Planet Zoo being one of them, like the Planet games, City Skylines. I love playing kind of Tomb Raider, GTA style games more on the PlayStation for some reason. I don't know why. I just like sitting on they're more sort of sofa games with a controller. Veg out, maybe have some snacks with me. So at this, I guess the short answer at this stage, I would not want to be a variety streamer. And because I only stream 2 times a week, I want to fill that time with my brand content. So part of the reason playing the one game most of the time is to build a brand and to one of my early goals with streaming was, and this was kind of blue sky thinking. I knew it was just a silly kind of goal that I don't even know how I would measure it. But I wanted to be the most well-known New Zealand Sims streamer or simmer, whether that's streaming on Twitch or YouTube or whatever. Like, I wanted that to be my niche, and that's part of the reason why I do The Sims. I also just find it the most consistent thing that I enjoy doing most often. So other games I'll play really intensely for a short period of time, and then there'll be months or sometimes even longer where I don't even pick it up. The Sims, I always find something new with it.
This is what I was going to say. Like, this is another part of this question was, how do you keep things interesting for yourself by playing mostly Sims?
Yeah, so I love the fact that there's various elements in the game. So when you get a story-based game, that's it, right? You play the story, you do the challenges, the tasks, and then it ends.
Yes.
Often games have got, GTA, you finish it, right? There's some side quests, but it's done. The Sims, it never has an ending. The other thing that helps is that there's Create a Sim world. So you could sit there for a few hours just creating Sims, dressing them up like paper dolls or something. God, that shows my age. Paper dolls.
Little Barbies.
Barbies or whatever. Or you could build, which is kind of my main passion. Build. And then even within building, you could do shells, you could do exterior, you could do furnishing. You could download someone else's and adjust it and tweak it. And then there's the gameplay as well. So there's various elements. So I'm not feeling one day, I'll do another thing. Sometimes I go totally off tangent and I say, my last stream, I think the title was like Legacy Gameplay. I didn't do a lot of gameplay. I was doing other stuff, but I was still at the Sims.
The amount of times where I spend like 45 minutes just chatting before I even get into a game.
Yeah, me too.
So
that helps that there's so many various aspects. Yeah. And then there's all these things like challenges that, create a simmer audience content that can kind of be applied to the Sims. So you can do challenges and then if I'm not feeling it, I'm not told anyone I am a solely Sims streamer. Like if I don't feel like streaming Sims that day, I won't. I'll do something different.
Yeah. But it's in your name though.
It is. And I do feel a little kind of pang of that it's wrong for me to, not wrong, but I wonder if because I've built such a community based on Sims streaming, will it affect me negatively to play other games? And that's part of it too. But.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like I have been told if I stick to one genre, like for example, I have a Pokemon day. Like if I do Pokemon consistently, I'm just going to grow into my Pokemon community and I can grow quicker and I can gain more views.
Yeah.
And, like when you do one game, you can actually, it is a quick way to partner. But the issue is, you then have that issue where, unfortunately, if you do play something else, you're not going to get the same views. And that's what happens to some of my friends that I've known that have become Pokemon. Then when they play something else, like people are like, why are you playing this? Or they have like quarter of what they had. Like let's say they get 100 views, right? They would just have like 15, 20. Like they would not even like, or just not the same, or 30. Like it's just not the same as what they got. But it's just something that you have to be okay with and accept, I guess.
Right.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I feel like with YouKayy, like you have a really big passion for Sims, as does this lady over here. I'm pointing to my left here. The person that always talks about Sims and is slowly convincing me to play Sims. I did say if I play Sims again, I will play it. I will do one of KitKat's shells. I'll do one of KitKat's shells.
I love that.
It doesn't fit over my headphones, but
yeah. Wow. I will do it. But I actually played Sims once and it was absolutely chaotic. I spent like an hour creating my character and I ended up looking like Mila Kunis. I have no idea how. Ended up looking like Mila Kunis. And it was tragic. I set things on fire. Like, I don't know. It was crazy. I didn't even know what I was doing. So it was tragic.
That just sounds like a normal day in The Sims.
Yeah, that's
on fire. I don't even put smoke detectors most of the time in my builds because it's the chaos.
What's the point? Yeah, exactly.
If someone dies in the fire, too bad.
Part of the story, right?
I say that now. My legacy.
Not in my legacy.
Yeah. No. We close that. We close that game. We close without saving. Nope.
Can you tell I have two Simmers here? I didn't even know Simmer was a thing, but hey,
you just
Kate,
need to be careful.
We asked KitKat last time this question. Do you know Simlish?
I don't, but can I tell you a really amazing story that definitely brought me a lot of joy?
Okay.
So I don't, other than Sul, Dag, Yiddish. I don't know. No, I don't. But so recently I got married. Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And in my wedding, it was best day ever. So many things contributed to that. Our MC was a good friend of ours and a good friend of mine. We go way back. And he had written like little snippets in between when he'd be like, okay, sit down for dinner, and he'd have a little spiel, and the time for speeches, and he'd have a little spiel or something. He did a segment about The Sims. I had no idea this was coming.
That's so funny.
He did a segment on this. Obviously, the people in the room at the wedding, most of bar maybe two people, would be like, "What? WTF? What is this person talking about?" But I was just in tears of joy that this part of my life was now kind of woven into my wedding day.
Aww.
That he was teaching the room Simlish, so he spoke in he learnt Simlish. He wrote it down, and he spoke in Simlish, and he was talking about Simlish as a language, and and just The Sims in general, and it was perfect. It was so incredible.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And
I would have loved that so much.
Oh, that's so adorable.
Why didn't you invite me to your wedding?
My cheeks are hurting from just like smiling about it again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry, KitKat, I ignored that question.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
Such a far flight, you know?
Next time I get married.
Yeah, maybe. Then you will. Okay, so the next time you guys come on the podcast, you're both learning Simlish. Is that what's happening?
Is that what's happening?
No. I think it's a very hard language. I don't really understand it. It just sounds like gibberish to me, to be honest.
I think it mostly is.
Yeah. The fact that somebody actually formulated it into language is what's mind-boggling. I mean,
but it's not a full language, though, is it? Like, there's specific sentences and things you can put together, but I don't know. It's not a complete language.
Because like Klingon, like that's another thing that's like
it's not as much as Klingon,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna ask KitKat a question. Do you swear? Because like I've never heard you swear on stream. Because I always get this wholesome vibes from. Do you know how to swear? Have you ever sworn?
I do all the time. Actually. I don't really know why I don't.
Yeah.
On stream, sometimes I'll say it under my breath, or like if I'm playing Fortnite, which I haven't played in months, but if I like something bad happens in Fortnite, you might get something out of me. Yeah. I swore earlier today because I was walking Chewy and we were by a busy road. It happened at the worst time. Like I somehow dropped the leash.
Oh my god!
I was panicking.
Oh my god!
So I was like,
yeah. Oh my gosh. I actually try not to swear on my stream as well. Like I'm very much a person that tries not to swear. That's why I have a swear countdown. Oh my god, my camera is going crazy right now.
It is.
Yeah, I have a swear counter that I try not to swear, but yeah. So KitKat, if Sims contacted you, because you're a variety streamer, if Sims contacted you to only play Sims, would you do it? Tell us your reasoning for yes or no.
what are they giving me, I guess?
Right. So you're like, you
Because I mean,
give me the
they
money.
have contacted
Show me
me.
the money. Yes.
Someone on the Sims account followed me when I was live on stream.
Oh my God, I remember. That's so cool. Yes.
Yeah. They
Yes.
told me to check my email, and I almost
God. Died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I pooped my pants or whatever. Like I was so shocked and like excited. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess the reasoning I would want to know why. I love
Because they like
playing
you.
The
Stop with
Sims.
this imposter syndrome. They like you. They love you. Okay.
But like, are they giving me a lot of money?
Yeah. So if they was to give you a lot of money, you would do it then?
I don't know. I guess it'd be like, I don't know. It feels kind of weird. Like I think that only like bigger simmers will get money if they do like a build for a new pack, because that's like exchanging, money for your services for like for goods.
Yes.
Whereas like giving a review, so if they were paying me for like doing builds, I don't know, consult. I don't have good style. Don't ask me to consult on any like, creative things. I'd be like, oh, I like that.
I like this. I like that. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, like add that to the pack. It's beautiful. But so if it was like something like that, but not like you can only stream The Sims, I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's a little like some people think that people in the creator network are being paid to talk about The Sims on their channels, and that's not true. Like we get packs, we might get them a little early, and some people, I think bigger streamers, a lot of them just buy the packs themselves because they have that ability. And like, I know that if I wasn't in the EA Creator Network, I would not be buying these packs the day they come out.
Yeah.
Especially, like now, I wouldn't be getting them because there are so many. It's expensive.
It's so hard. Yeah, when they do that.
Like some people probably would, but like I feel like there's a little bit of like ickiness if that was what they asked me to do.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'm so sorry. I just realized I need to just let my cat in. I didn't realize she wasn't in the room.
You were calling for her, and I was wondering, like, where is she coming from, though? If you're
not even here,
screaming outside my door.
Yeah,
they're just screaming, and I'm like, okay, I'm letting you out, like letting you in. I didn't even realize they're not in the room. Sorry, this is my cat's room. They need to be in here. They have a lot of anxiety.
But when you opened the door for them, did they just ignore you?
No, they just walked away. Cat. I'm so annoyed. I'm like, I flipping stopped
I don't want to go in there
to go and let you in.
Behavior.
Yeah.
They were really interested, and now that it's available, they're
screaming.
Like,
they were screaming.
No,
you couldn't hear them.
gross.
They were screaming. I
can imagine it. That's all he does.
Yes, just all the time. All right, so I'm just gonna answer this.
Letsy's having issues.
He's so cute, Remus, right now. I would just die if my cat did that to me. Honestly, just love it so much, like a little baby. Oh my god, I love him so much. For those of you that are listening to the podcast, Remus, KitKat's cat, is literally fully hugging her like a little child. Just imagine a little baby infant on your shoulder. That is literally her cat. So adorable. And we are all dying.
He's sleeping.
Melting. I'm just going to ask this question from Villa, because then he's going to be like, oh, you just keep ignoring my question. So we're going to answer this question. Hypothetically speaking, if you could, would you swap your full-time job to do streaming full-time, assuming the income is the same? Or do you enjoy your in real life work so much that you'd want to keep it?
No.
Yeah. The second question, no, for sure.
Yeah. So would you do it if the income was the same? Would you do it?
I guess, does streaming come with health insurance is probably part of my issue. If it comes with health insurance and the pay is the same, sure. I'm not making crazy amounts of money over here.
Yeah.
Working in higher education.
Yeah. Okay. What about UK?
Some people are.
Yeah.
I would like to, but I think I would not. It depends. Yeah. So I used to work as a freelancer. So I would do contract work. And so you don't get holiday, like you don't get annual leave. You don't get sick leave. You are constantly having to kind of chase your next contract sort of 6 months to 12 months ahead of time and make sure you've still got. The reason I went back to a permanent full-time work setting was because I wanted the stability and the annual leave and the sick leave and not have to continually chase at this thing and think about it. You know, I put it in place, it's there, I've got a job unless something, you know, there's definitely possibilities where it might not happen. So it would be really tough. I would like to say yes, but I think I would need, rather than it matching financially, I think I would need streaming to be have something better than a job, because there are other perks that come with my job that are not just the paycheck. So I think I'd keep my job, but God, it would be tempting because I love streaming and I like the idea of being able to stream full time.
I definitely think it is a very tempting thing as well. But for me, like, I really enjoy helping people. And when people say to me, like, whenever I've helped them in anything, they're like, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. You've been amazing. You've really helped me in my health journey. When I'm helping people that way, I do get a sense of like I've done something, like I made a difference to someone. Yeah. So, but then again, sometimes in streaming, some people will message me. And again, I'm like, sorry, did you come to the wrong inbox? And they'll say to me like, oh, thank you so much. I had a really hard time with my mental health. And I just wanted to let you know that you really helped me that day. And it really helped me through it. And that, even that is rewarding in itself. All right. So we're going to go into the last part now, which is advice and reflection. So I guess we talked about this a little bit. But what's one piece of advice you'd give to somebody struggling to balance streaming with a demanding job? I would say, going back to what we've been talking about, which is don't think of it as balancing, but prioritize the thing, that you need to do. And also have a think about what do you want to get from streaming? What are you trying to achieve? Yeah. What are your goals? Set realistic goals as well, because you have a demanding job as well. So you got to tell yourself, like, what is realistic for me? And what is realistic for my job, and is this going to interfere with it? Because like I knew somebody who would basically not sleep, like would just be streaming and then waking up, going to work, and then just like it's very stressful. And it's so definitely balancing, but prioritizing, but also looking after yourself, like,
like sleep is more important than streaming. If you don't sleep enough,
for everybody,
you will die.
That is not
you
like,
will die.
For me, sleep's more important. No, it is a need for your human physical body to survive.
Remus just tried to jump onto the other part of the desk, and he just
took a tumble.
Oh, no.
Oh, he did.
Silly kitty cat.
Poor guy.
All right. So if you had any other piece of advice to give to somebody struggling, what would it be?
I think you stole two of them. By the way, Kay, you actually said two things.
I'm so
and the
sorry.
second one kind of also incorporated a number of things. So thanks for...
Maybe just expand on it. Sorry for taking it away.
It's okay.
I agree with Kay.
That's her answer.
Is there anything else? Same. I think those are kind of the pillars for me.
Yeah.
Anything else is just, we're getting into the kind of more minor details. Yeah. I mean, as a joke answer, I would first, sort of joke, but sort of not joke. I would just say don't
do it. Kate, that's actually in season 1 when it was like, what's the advice you're going to give to somebody? And I said, can I just interrupt everyone and say, don't do it?
Yeah.
That's literally what I said.
Yeah.
And I feel like my answer was just like, have fun. If you're not having fun, don't do it.
Yeah, maybe the thing that I would add is work on recognizing what you need out of it. So start with what Kay said, prioritize, making sure you're taking care of yourself, etc., etc. And then once you've started the journey of streaming, make sure you not only recognize, but you take action on things when they come up. Like, be flexible, and if your priorities need to change, then be open to that.
Yes.
If you have to change your schedule, be open to that. If you need a break, be open to that. Yeah. Don't set a goal and, tire yourself out trying to reach it if in the middle of getting to the goal, you actually feel like maybe this goal isn't right.
Yeah.
Like, you can change your goals.
So be flexible with your goals.
Yeah, this year, like recently, I've actually been taking goals away. I used to have like early on streaming, I would have like my monthly goal or my 2021 goal or something. Right now, I don't have the mental capacity to think about goals.
Yes.
I'm just
it is what it is. Yeah.
keeping going.
Yeah.
That's some really, really good advice. I think that's, having a flexible goal is so important. So I guess my next question is, what's been the most rewarding part of streaming for you despite the challenges?
This is easy for me. Can I just jump
go. Do it. Yeah.
in? Meeting amazing people.
Yes.
So like you two wonderful people.
Aww.
And yeah, just I think the people, the game is not an integral part of streaming.
Yeah.
There's other stuff that are not integral to the streaming part of it, but the actual streaming part of it is that I'm doing this thing with others.
Yes.
Not on my own.
What about you, KitKat? That was amazing. I think I can definitely agree with that as well. Like, I think meeting people that you wouldn't normally meet, like I would never meet you guys. Where else would I meet you guys? Where?
No, yeah.
Like, we have so different jobs as well. We just talked about this. We had so many, we all have different jobs. So how in our life would we meet?
You're so far away, like on the other side of the world, like for real.
Yeah. For real.
Like it's such a long flight.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. One day.
We will go to Hobbiton together.
If, we have to go to, if KitKat gets married, we got to go to her wedding and do a speech about Sims.
Yes.
And talk in Simlish.
That would make me absolutely just sob. But yeah, I think too, just like having fun with your community is really rewarding. And like you said too, like getting those people who are like, this stream is like so comforting for me, because that's what streams are for me. I'm like a habitual lurker. Sometimes I chat, but a lot of times I'm just listening and chilling. And that's so important. So just creating like a safe place where people can kind of decompress and feel comfortable is probably one of the most rewarding things.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that as well. Like, when I need the community, that the way that they show up for me is just, I feel so blessed, and I can't believe it. Like, sometimes I think I can't believe there are these bloody amazing, chaotic but wonderful people, and that come back to me week after week, or just having a chat with me, or like people that will say things like, thanks for being honest, thanks for being truthful, thanks for doing this because it's really helped me today, or whatever it was. Like, it's just, I think that's what's rewarding for me, is being able to and also be my true self. Like, the fact that I don't have to, nobody like holds it against me for being sassy or sarcastic or things like that. Like, and maybe that's probably why I'm not growing in the level that people think that I should be, that people tell me like, oh, you should be doing this because then you'll be better. You should be doing that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, please. But I think it's just the fact that I can be myself is what's so rewarding for me, and nobody like sort of holds it against me if I am being that way or whatever. This has been absolutely such a great podcast, you guys. It's been a very long podcast, but a very great podcast, and I'm so appreciative of you guys for being here. Before we sort of wrap up, I'm going to do a quick blurb about each of you. So I'm going to start off with KitKat here. I think this is literally the best thing that sums her up, and this is why I haven't edited it. And it says, KitKatGinger is a variety streamer who brings cozy vibes from the Midwest. With a love for games like The Sims and Stardew Valley, KitKat streams are all about creating a relaxing, supportive space where everyone feels welcome. If you're looking for a kind and peaceful community, this is the perfect place to hang out and enjoy some wholesome gaming. And that is literally KitKat to a T. And I'm going to be posting some links about them in just a second as well. And this is about Kate. So KiwiSimsKate is a warm, and welcoming Kiwi streamer who grew up in a zoo. Yes, really. And you know what? Maybe go ask her about it a bit more if you want to. She's part of the Sims ANZ stream team. She's passionate about creating an inclusive community where gaming live conversations go hand in hand, where Sims is her specialty. While Sims is her specialty, she does love diving into adventure puzzles, RPGs, simulation games, and occasionally FPS, which I was very shocked about. But you know what? KitKat does the same thing, which also shocks me.
Yeah.
They're better than me. I can't do FPS to save my life. A travel enthusiast, she's always up for chatting about places to visit around the world. So come for the bills, stay for the good vibes. And I think the same can be said about KitKat. You go to their places for the bills, stay for their good vibes. Or stay for both. I don't know. You obviously, if you're like obsessed with Sims, they're the right places to go. So, guys, where can people find you, and what's the next steps for your streaming journey? And I'm going to put some links in here as well. So each one is for Kate, which is beacons.ai/KiwiSimsKate. And then for KitKat, it's Linktree. So linktr.ee/KitKatGinger. But yeah, so what's your journey like, and what's your next steps for your journey, and where can we find you?
I'll just be, this is KitKat if you're listening. I'll just be streaming. No specific destination in mind. We're just enjoying the. And yeah, you can find me on most places just at KitKatGinger. I think my Instagram is slightly different because my username.
Sorry, you're just breaking up a little bit. Yeah.
Why does this always happen to me?
I know, right at the end.
How dare you, microphone? Yeah. Get it together. But yeah, you can just find me on Twitch, and then you can get to all those good links.
And then Kate.
Yeah, my main platforms, I guess, are Twitch and YouTube. YouTube, where I'm a little less consistent, but I'm trying to grow it. And I also am across a bunch of socials, so Instagram, Twitter, but kind of shifting more to Blue Sky. I think I still have a Threads account if anyone's still over there. And the Beacons link will get you to all of those places. But if in doubt, you can always look for KiwiSimsKate. No spaces. That's my handle across any social that I'm a part of. So it should be fairly straightforward to find me.
Amazing. And I think the three of us are just basically, I did ask what I wanted to push for you guys, but I think we're all trying to grow our YouTube account. So go onto our link trees, Bitleads, Beacon, and just go and follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, because guess what? It's FREE free. You can do it. Go subscribe to our YouTube channels. Thank you for hanging out, friends. It's been absolutely wonderful. If you haven't already watched the last season of our podcast, last 2 seasons, sorry, this is our 3rd season, you are missing out, son. Go watch them and then come back and finish watching these. But we hope that you enjoyed our latest podcast. Thank you for your continued support. Signing off, we've been YouKayy, KiwiSimsKate, KitKatGinger, and you've all been amazing. That's a wrap for season 3 podcast. See you later.
Dag dag.
Bye.